You ready to go biking? The weekend we decided to do this is the weekend it's freezing. It's 33 degrees right now in Rapid City. It's gonna be even colder in the hills.
Do you think that you could bike 109 miles through the Black Hills? Hey everybody, it's Tristan with Mindful Living Realty, a realtor right here in Rapid City, the gateway to the Black Hills. I'm talking about the Mickelson Trail. It's a 109-mile gravel path that goes all the way from Deadwood all the way down to Emond, South Dakota. On this trail, you're going to see everything the Black Hills has to offer. You're going to go over about 100 bridges, through some tunnels, next to some rock walls, see stretches of meadows, see wildlife everywhere, and so much more in the Black Hills. The Mickelson Trail is built over the old location of the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad from the 1890s. So what happened was when gold was discovered in the late 1880s in the Black Hills, suddenly a lot of people were coming into the area. And of course, with this gold rush came lots and lots of people, spread out all the way up and down the Black Hills. So it became necessary to build a railroad, not necessarily to transfer the gold, but for people and supplies. So this railroad was built and was operating from 1890 to 1891. And then was operating as Burlington Northern Railroad until 1985. In the 90s, South Dakota Governor George Mickelson supported a Rails to Trails program, and thus the Mickelson Trail was born. The history of the Mickelson Trail is celebrated on a number of the trailheads picnic shelters. One of them showcased an old card that talked about the time frames to get from one station to another along the route. Plus you can see old telegraph poles, old W signs, which signifies that the whistle is going to happen, and old signs with an X where you can stop and wait to get picked up by the next train. In September of 1998, the Mickelson Trail was finished for everybody to enjoy. Now don't worry, you don't have to do the whole 109 miles all at once. There are 15 different trailheads along the way, plus a few of them are in Hill City and Custer, so you could stop and spend the night at different places if that's what you'd like to do. In the majority of these trailheads, you'll have parking spaces, you'll have the picnic shelters that I mentioned, as well as water and vault toilets. Of course, they do stop those water pumps in the wintertime, but any other time, you have some extra water along the way if you didn't bring enough. The biggest elevation gain is the 19 miles from Deadwood to Dumont. Last fall, we took this trip, but we started at Dumont and rode down into Deadwood, which was a lot better than trying to climb up that hill. Yeehaw! Also at all the trailheads is a self-pay station. There is a $4 per day fee per person to use the trail. And of course that money is kept for the maintenance and all the things that they need to do to keep the trail the way it is. Or you can purchase an annual fee for $15 per person. My son and I had plans. We were going to bike the whole 109 miles. We were going to start in Deadwood, come down to about Hill City, where my sister was going to meet us with her camper. We were going to camp there and then do the rest the next day. However, life got in the way and we didn't manage to do that. But we did decide, let's go ahead and just start in Custer. It's the 46 miles from Custer all the way down to Emond, and we'll just do that for a day. And of course, we were men, so we weren't going to rent e-bikes. We used just regular bikes to do this trail. And it was a whole lot harder than we thought it was. So early in the morning, we loaded up both bikes. We took two cars, went all the way down, drove an hour and a half to Emond, dropped one off, drove 45 minutes back up to Custer, and then went from there all the way down to Emond. And then when we got done, of course, we just did the whole thing over again. It was an amazing experience when you were biking down the trail and you're wondering, oh, what's around this bend? What's around that bend? What are we going to see next? There were some parts where you were just driving alongside a road, and that's where it really got kind of boring as you were just driving at that point. And some of the inclines, they weren't very steep, but they were kind of long, and boy, you really slowed down going up those inclines. But as I mentioned, there's a number of places that we stopped and sat down and enjoyed the Black Hills, and then hopped back on and kept moving. You saw everything from Black Hills, to meadows, to Black Hills properties, to ranch land, to canyons, and really everything in between. And don't sleep on the last 16 miles. It seems like it's just prairie as it goes from Highway 16 to Emond. After a number of miles of fields, you do go through Sheep Canyon, which had great views and a really cool place to drive through. But let me tell you, then you're coming down the hill, you can see Emond in the distance, and it's still like 10 miles away. And those last 5 miles, those were so sore. It was like 6 o'clock at night. We were like ready to be done. It was a full day by the time I got home. Probably should have maybe, kind of worked into that. Maybe didn't do 46 miles all at once, but it was a wonderful and painful and amazing experience all at the same time. If you're here and you don't have bikes, there are a number of places that will rent bikes to you. Then a couple of years ago that I mentioned previously, what we had done is we had rented bikes. They actually took us in a shuttle, they took us up to Dumont, and then we rode the bikes down to Deadwood. And don't sleep on those e-bikes, because boy, they really make life a lot easier. My father had a couple that we had when we were with just jumped on his e-bike every once in a while from a regular bike. So much more easy, so much more fun. The best time to bike down this trail is in the fall, when all the leaves start changing and you've got the yellows and the greens. It's an amazing time in the fall. Plus the weather is cooler. I can't imagine riding down this trail when it's 100 degrees outside. That wouldn't be fun. So enjoy these videos of the past few times we've taken our bikes down the Mickelson Trail. Would you hop on a bike and ride 46 miles? Or 109 miles? Or maybe 15 is enough for you? Whatever you want to do on the Mickelson Trail, it's an amazing Black Hills experience. Thanks everybody for watching. Have an amazing day. Remember, love where you live.